Hello and welcome back to another episode of Cosmic Oracle. First and foremost, just want to apologise. We were hoping to film this last week, but BT had an urgent appointment that he needed to get attended to. So, in his mouth, bless his heart. So, we are a week later filming this. Today is all about the UK. So before I hand over to the gorgeous BT to take us forward, we know the energies are really heavy right now, and whatever information, I don't know what's coming out, but I can imagine. Please, please, please just hear and allow it to just flood through your cells, and whatever we can do to help speed things up or change things or whatever, we will obviously be doing behind the scenes. BT, how's your mouth, my love?
It's doing a little bit better. I had some wisdom stuff going down and some crowns being made. So I had a few days there of some R&R, so to speak. And since I'm a talker, it's a little difficult to talk when you have your face all swelled up. So anyhow,
Anything
nothing
mouth
major,
is
just
so
just
painful.
just just old equipment that needed to be updated, so to speak.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about the UK. We know the UK are sat on their laurels, and I'm assuming that's come out massively through this. I'm just going to hand over to you, babe.
Okay. I'm kind of glad I had an extra week too, just so you guys know. I mean, because it's not always easy in a position where you see and you understand certain aspects, but at the same time, when you speak about these aspects, it could be very, very troubling to those who you're speaking about. Okay, especially if you have to be direct and just kind of come from that spiritual aspect that they're just going to have to receive it for what it is. And if they take it, they'll understand. And if they don't, that's fine too, because again, it's all a matter of choice. Okay. So, the UK overall had some very interesting events within its chart. Uh, and I look at it from a different aspect of sometimes, sometimes history has a longer playing time than younger history. Okay. So let me explain that comment. The UK has been around basically almost since the beginning of time compared to the United States and many other countries for that matter. Okay. And so the history of the UK is deep, and it has a foundation of roots that encompass the planet. Okay, so think about that. Okay, think of the UK as a big old tree. Okay, and everything that it's been involved with since its conception has reached around the world. Okay, so with that being said, compared to the United States, which has only been here, since the 1774 era, so to speak, there's a lot of history that the United States can change pretty rapidly because it's not as deep. Now, when you look at the UK, because of its depth, that history and that belief system and that ability to move forward is like pulling a ball and chain. Okay. And
Through
so, in other
sand.
words, yeah, say that again.
Through sand.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's how it feels to me right now, anyway.
It is. It is definitely a ball and chain in quicksand. You can say that.
Yeah,
That's a
even better. Cement would probably be the way that I'm feeling right now.
yeah, a ball and chain in quicksand sounds perfect for this description. Okay, and when we look at that, a ball and chain in quicksand. Okay, the ball will sink, the chain will sink, but it only sinks so far unless there's movement. The more movement, the faster it sinks. Okay, so presently, okay, in the aspect of England, the UK, it has a primal triad. The sun is in Taurus, the moon is in Taurus, and the ascendant is in Libra. Okay. Now, Libra brings in the balance. So, just so you know that there has to be balance in the UK. Okay. And this is a powerful chart. I mean, this chart isn't like, well, it's not like how Vietnam was, or the Iraq, or even so much the United States. It's a totally different type of chart.
Right.
And the reason it's so different again is due to the fact of the age and the history behind it, and the area of change that it has to go through. See, most of these countries around our globe, there's 200 plus countries that are in this reset. Okay, most of these countries have a long history, but they still don't reach around the world with their stuff. Okay, the UK has always been able to be global instead of just in a small area. Okay, and so these other countries, they're going to be able to go ahead and move forward much easier because they're only going to have to be hit once. Boom,
Yeah.
wake up call. Okay, so to speak.
Yeah.
The UK is going to have like a double hit. It's going to have multiple wake up calls because of the history that's there and the lack of people waking up, just like here in the United States and other places. The question is, are they failing to wake up due to their inability to know the truth or find the truth or something of that issue? Or are they going to wake up, you know, due to the fact that one day they meet somebody like Lucy or somebody out there in this audience, and they bring a couple of questions to their mind and make some question some things. Okay. And those things that we have to be bringing to these people's mind isn't the problem, it has to be the solution. Okay. The UK has an important part within the solution, but until you guys come together with a plan and address the solution, you guys are basically just freaking barking up the same old parliamentary tree that sits on top of the throne, and the rest of you as servants.
Exactly. And BT,
Okay.
I know me and you spoke about this before we came on today, but this is something I've been banging on about on my Instagram. And I know you've been kicked off Instagram because you're too much of a truther. So you wouldn't have seen this, but I've been literally for the last couple of weeks beating the drum of, look, since the last protest, we've got to come together, we've got to do stuff, we have to take an action plan forwards. And like I say, I know we spoke about this offline, but I am totally in agreement with you. At the moment, we're doing amazing things with protests, and I don't ever want to take from that. They are absolutely amazing. However, we're literally just doing the barking and we're not doing anything other than the barking. So I totally feel with every cell in my body what you're saying with that.
And another area too is because the UK is one of the biggest players in the world. And it wouldn't matter if we were going through the reset or not going through the reset, anything that you want to just throw out there. Okay. It's just a fact. When you have that type of history and that length of history and that overreach around the world through good points as well as bad points, okay, no different than any other country, okay, it's going to take a lot more energy to shift. And that's the hard part, is to recognize the shifting. See, Leo is in with Taurus, and it's mixed with Pluto and Jupiter in conjunction in the 10th, while Mercury, the sun, the moon is in Taurus in the 7th house, while Libra is rising. Now, for all of you who understood that's pretty good. Okay. For myself, I'm just going by what I know and what I've been taught, and things of this nature. So what the main player in all of that is Leo. And the reason Leo is because Leo's a ruling power. Anybody knows any Leos know that they like to be the roost in the house.
I only know a couple, but yeah, you're right. Bang on.
Okay. Just say they're seen in the world as the ruling power. Okay. And that's a good thing. But if you're not doing the right thing, that's not a good thing. Okay. So Just saying. Now, the UK can stay on its course and it can still maintain its strength within the will of the people. It can recondition the old standards into new standards. And it has the ability to really come together in a shorter time frame if people will recognize this. Okay. Now, on the external aspect, many people in the UK who are not in the uprising would much rather just be part of the one world order. I'm just saying it. They're not waking up, they don't give a rat's, and they just basically say, you know what, I'm going to be out of here anyway in so much time anyway. I'm an old person or what have you. I don't contribute much to society, so whatever happens happens. And that's not a good energy to have for people in the UK. Okay, you can't look at yourself as just, insignificant individuals at a time when the world needs you to stand up and speak the truth, to be able to go against the norms that this fake society is trying to impregnate you with. Think of that. Okay, because they're trying to impregnate you with this fake belief, grow a fake belief system inside your body through vaccines, which aren't necessarily vaccines. They're, technically experimental. And so let's get it what it is. Okay, I'm corrected myself for those of you out there. They're doing all these different things. Doesn't matter if it's food or what have you. So in that perspective, the people of the UK really need to start paying attention to those people who are not waking up. Okay. And when I say paying attention, stop wasting your time with them in the aspect of forcing them to wake up.
Okay.
Put your energy, put your energy into things that are more important, like a plan.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Because what's quite interesting, and I literally said this over the weekend, is I'm just not, like, I'm a bit of a nightmare wherever I go. If, I'll red pill everyone. If I get the opportunity, I will drop red pills everywhere. And my girlfriend said to me literally over lunch yesterday, Lucy, chill out, like, you never take time off. You're constantly red pilling people. She was just like, save your energy. And actually, it was a really good point that she raised, because I am so desperate, and it is a desperation. I want to wake everyone. I want to wake the masses up, because that's what I felt a massive part of this is. When actually, in reality, it's about pulling the community together now that are going to help us ascend and go to the next level. And honestly, my followers will tell you I've been banging on about this plan for the last couple of weeks, because it's in my mind. Like, it just needs to get done. And people can choose. They either come with the plan, they like the plan and they do the plan, or they can just stay where they are, and whatever fate comes their way comes their way.
Right. And that's important aspects too there, Lucy, that you bring it apart to the community within that knowledge, because again, change is not change unless you first of all are willing to change.
Yeah.
People aren't going to be willing to change. There's no sense wasting energy. And when I say wasting energy, it is a waste of energy. You might love and have compassion and all that, but that's choice.
Yeah.
The other is choice as well. And so when you're doing the same thing with the same outcome and nothing changes, then it's a waste.
Yeah.
Hate to say it, but that's just the way it is. So now when we look at the aspects of the UK comes in at this time frame also in a very diplomatic energy, which is kind of good. Okay.
That's Brit.
Yeah, that's progress within itself. Okay,
I'm
but
sure that's why they put me here in the UK, because I'm the least diplomatic person.
so this is the thing that they have to. The government itself has to switch. Okay, the government has to stop thinking that they are above the citizens. okay, within these energies, okay? And when I say that, I say it in the aspect of this. It's one thing to have laws, it's another thing to have ordinances or things of this nature that truly affect you, okay? But the main thing that you have to understand is the UK has to do a transition, no different than any of these other countries, but we have to be able to do it in this aspect, okay? I'm going to touch base on this. Public welfare, okay? Whatever the government is doing has to be for the public welfare. Right now, it's not for the public welfare, okay? It's control. The second area that it has to be able to look at is public health. Because let's just be honest about it, okay? The deep state and the negative people of government are going to push this agenda of public health, period. Because again, that's what they're attempting to do to overcome. When I say overcome, which they won't be able to because the light is much stronger, but in their mind, they still think they can, okay? And so I'm just using how the reality is. And so they still believe they can overcome those of us who are awakened, okay? Because again, this is their last fight. This is their last stronghold on the UK. The next thing that we have to look at is safety, just general safety, okay? Is the government providing general safety? Are they being fair to both sides of the opposition? Okay, I mean, I'm coming in on both sides here, okay? Those of you who are freaked out and those of you who are awakened, okay? Because you both have the opportunity to feel that because of your choice, okay? But the main perspective of those areas that I haven't touched base on in the last one is the moral effect to the community and the individual, okay? So we have public welfare, public health, safety, and morals. The morals of government have to be changed, period, in the UK. And everywhere else, for that matter. I mean, I'm not going to just pick on the UK, but this is about the UK. But I'm going to, let everybody else know that nobody else is in any better shape, okay? That's the reality, okay? Even with Trump in the United States, just so you know, we're still all in the same boat, rowing at the same direction. And the island is there. We just got to get over the reef, okay?
We're still in that circle at the moment with one oar, right?
Well, it's a broken oar at that too. So
I keep getting these visions, and I'm like, oh Jesus.
We don't get as much traction as we like, but we'll get there. Okay, we're getting. Good. All right, now as we look at the UK, the UK has to then basically just bring more self-worth within themselves. Okay. Have to be able to determine within themselves that they're actually worth something. They're part of this global consciousness of change. And it doesn't matter if you're in the political realm or the private realm, which is actually the political realm because they're all bought and sold. Okay. So anyhow, they have to be able to move out of this energy. Okay. Now, one of the main areas that we have also going on is this North Node. And the North Node conjuncts its descendant on the 6th house side. The South Node conjuncts Libra, the ascendant, on the 12th house side. And this here is an interesting perspective because this part here deals with the consciousness and awareness area of the UK. Okay. Past life, karma, still nearby, and it influences, and it is also shown to the world, the influences. So this is where it gets a little deep, I think, for the UK. Okay. Is the UK going to be able to go down the rabbit hole when it comes to the Queen, when it comes down to these individuals who have been on a podium of love for so many years, when in reality they were just using all the general population of the UK.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's going to be some bumps. There's going to, man, this is what's when we look at the reset of currency and the reset of the spiritual battle that we're going on. After reading, I'm still on the first page, Lucy. I'm just telling you. Okay, so we might have to do a two-part series on this UK. I'm just letting you know. Okay, it's up to you to decide. But there is so much going on with the UK within this karmic energy aligned with the stars, that unless the people can actually step back and accept and be able to move forward, the UK is going to be the one dragging this whole stuff down and slowing it down.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line right now.
Yeah, which is exactly how I feel, and I have felt for the last really 8 months, that we're literally like dragging everything down to the bottom of the seabed at the moment, kind of thing. And I want to be honest with you, BT, like we've got a lot of people over here that are waking up. We had 1 million people walking in London a few weeks ago out of 66 million of the population here. So that's huge. That's a huge amount when you look at it like that. However, there are still so many people that just would not hear about the Queen and just would not hear. But I channeled, and whether this is right or wrong, I felt that the Queen was going to die by the end of June, or she was officially going to die by the end of June. So maybe that will awaken some more people. I don't know. But if she doesn't die till October or something different, then that's going to be very different. But I kept feeling very strongly it was going to be June 2021. And I feel if that happens, and that unit and that fakeness has kind of like that house comes crumbling down, I feel we will be able to awaken more people more quickly. But it depends what they're playing with her. Do you get what I mean?
Right, right. And that's a strong point, because the acceptance of the history, because that's going to be I mean, the Queen is the Queen, don't get me wrong, but she's the energy that surrounds her is the history of the nation,
Yeah.
the whole United Kingdom. Okay, I mean, it's not like you're the king of the Bahamas. Okay, got a little island and you're just the king of the island. I mean, we're talking the UK.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
Right.
yeah, this is a powerhouse of energy. And so that's one of the biggest areas, and it's going to be an area that is going to be difficult for relationships within the other global countries during this transition.
Right.
Okay, because again, they don't know who they're going to get. They don't know if they're going to get a real Brexit or a fake Brexit. And I'm just saying,
Yeah.
okay, I'm just saying. So you guys are going to have to really, you know, do your research and suck it up, because right now, it has to have some action. I mean, you guys are going to go ahead and move forward in some serious light source energy, but it's going to be right now. Looking at a lot of this energy, it's going to be a while. It's not going to come as fast as you guys there in the UK are hoping. Okay, and when I say that, I mean it's going to be a drag out in the UK. Okay, so we're going to step into some other areas. The biggest area of the UK in the political realm is the ego. Okay. And the reason why I say that is because the big players of the UK love being the boss. Freaking egos.
Yeah.
Just saying. So, whatever players you have in your local communities, I don't care if it's your constables or, however you refer to your police people or your sheriffs, or however you have it over there in your country. Okay, these people are going to be very much an integrated part of this change, so we have to make sure we have the right people there.
Yes.
So okay, now as this shift changes, there's going to be a slight moment of time where the government thinks they have the people on its back. Just want you to know that. Okay, they're going to think they got the upper hand. Just want you to understand this.
Right. Do we know
But
when that would be, or is this just generally at the moment?
this here will, and I'll touch base on this here. This is kind of like an overall here. Okay, we'll go
Okay.
back on exactly more or less.
Okay,
But
cool.
this all starts though. This all starts from present to the future. Okay, so this is all part of the main
Okay.
goal. Okay, now within that ruling class of people, the elite there in the UK, they've been so comfortable in this position that once they're knocked off their position, okay, the karmic balance throughout the communities will start taking place.
Oh, wow.
So look at it from this standpoint, okay? People of very huge wealth and influence of business and politics in the UK, those are the type of individuals that you should be paying attention to and watching what's happening to them. Are they being arrested? Are their businesses being shut down? Are they going into bankruptcy? What are they doing? Okay. Because they're going to be going through a moment right now. They're going to be trying to hide things and do things to prevent things and all this kind of stuff within the local communities. Because again, this has to be a local effort, then a national effort.
Yeah. Which
It
is
can't go from top down. It's got to go from the bottom up.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now when we look at it from a standpoint of strength, the individuals who oversee the queen, okay? And this is something that might kind of shock you people. The people that have overseen and pulled the puppet strings of the UK, okay, they feel that they are the kings of the gods.
Oh.
Just so you know that. They feel that they are the kings of the gods. And when I say that in a sense of they feel they are above God. Okay, so this is the struggle that you guys are going through.
Yeah.
I mean, it isn't just, the history that is within your kingdom, the United Kingdom. It's the history that has been running outside of your kingdom that you never knew existed.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, it's very ego driven. And so you're going to see people saying some comments here in this next few months that are going to be comments that come out as strictly ego sensory comments. And these are people in the political realm. So listen to what's being said by these people who you think might be actually good people, because they're not. They're in positions just to roll over like Brexit did.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just letting you guys know, just like the United States, they're not going to conquer through war. They're going to infiltrate through people. Okay. So you guys got to be careful. Okay. Now, this is where we get into the banking system area aspect of the UK. Right.
Oh God. I wish this was vodka rather than tea. Oh, this is
Hey,
my old
hey,
world.
hey, go ahead and go get you. Yeah, I'll get me a cup of some wacky or so. Who knows? Anyway, all right. So there is going to be a major switch within the monetary system of the UK. And the areas that are going to be guiding it, it's going to be Saturn in the 8th house. And that means is it's other people's money.
Oh.
Think of that, other people's money. Gemini is the mercantile and the exchange of goods. Okay. Meanwhile, Mercury is in Taurus, and that would represent money. So think of that. Other people's money, exchange of goods that represent money. To me, there's pretty much the reset.
Mm.
Exchange of money.
Yeah.
It's going to be valued on what? Commodities, assets,
Yeah.
goods.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it's going to come back to being money again. So we know this is going to take place in the UK. Okay. The question is, when will it arrive? When will it evolve? And when will it be interacting within the financial system of the world? Okay. And this here is the tough aspect. By the time the UK gets situated and everything falls in place and you guys are back on your feet, we're looking at 2026.
Jesus. I thought it would be longer than that, I'll be honest, but
Well, that just means you're back on your feet. Doesn't mean things are going good. Okay.
yeah.
I'm just saying that's when the UK is going to
Oh
be
God, I'm not sure I can do it.
all eight cylinders of an 8-cylinder motor. Okay. I'm just saying. Okay. That's when everything's hit. Question is, and we're going to go into this, okay, is how do we bring a higher mind of consciousness so that the energies can even move quicker?
Yeah.
Okay. Because they can. I just want you people to know the only reason it's reading this right now is because the UK has not woken. And when I say woken, it's not the woke system that they're spreading on propaganda.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm talking the awakening of the people, the communication between truth and fiction, the ability to not only represent your higher mind of consciousness, but to be able to exchange the massive amounts of information that's going to be coming out. Okay.
Yeah.
All these are critical for the UK to speed this up. And it says it can be sped up, just so you know. This can change depending on the people of the UK. And that's how the stars are aligned. It's all about choice. Not very many countries get the opportunity to really choose how they want to move in speed and direction. The UK has that opportunity. I'm just saying that. Okay.
Amazing.
None of the other countries had that opportunity when we talked about it. Okay. The UK can and will, if you choose to, speed this up. Just saying. Now, if they don't speed it up, this is what will happen. The UK will continue dealing with the same lessons of the past with no positive outcome. In other words, you guys will just be, spinning your legs, spinning your wheels, spinning your tires, never moving forward. Stagnation of the rut. And all of you know what that means. Okay. We've all dug a rut at some time in our life. It's always, doesn't matter. It could be in grade school, it could be as an adult. The reason that rut's there isn't so much because we don't move forward. The reason we dig the rut is for safety reasons. Okay. So you guys are going to have to go ahead and quit, feeling that the UK is the uppity of the uppities.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And you guys might not think that, that yourself, but that's how it is around the world. I mean, that's the energy that comes out because of your history. You have so many years of history. I mean, the United States, we might think we're uppity over here too. But when in reality, we've never had the impact of global around the world in the manner that the UK has. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Okay. The impact. And that's what we have to take into consideration. What is the impact of the future of the UK? And so within that area, the frequency and the vibration of the individual has to move forward, has to come higher in energy. Okay. Now, there's going to be some moments of time where the UK is going to be, and again, this is all through now through 2027. Okay, what we're talking about.
Okay.
But in like March, this upcoming March, okay, there's going to be like a huge bridge available for the UK. So think of it from this standpoint. If you guys remember, the United States from January of 22 for 3 to 4 years are going to have the same alignment in the stars as our country had in the very first American Revolution when we came from England and created our country. Okay, our stars are aligned the same. Wow. Now in the UK, this is what is really beautiful about the UK. Okay, you guys have Chiron around that same time, March, January, February, March, within like 2 months, right after our stars align, where you, people of the UK, okay, are now in a position of transitioning within a real high area of bridge work. When I say bridge work, the people will be able to make their bridge into this new freedom area where you are in control, not the government, if you utilize that time frame. If you start too late down the road, that's why it's going to drag out. But if you start here in February and March, get all your ducks in a row and start not just planning for marches and not just doing it, but working within the legislation that you guys have, your people, within your government, your parliaments, things of this nature, and get everybody who is meant to be there, and those people out. Doesn't matter how you do it, okay? Figure out a way to do it, because what happens is once you do that, everything that's been hidden will be in plain view for the people of the UK.
Amazing. So this plan that I've been talking about is essential. It's essential.
Yeah, and it's essential not just for the UK, because again, the United States is going to be the opener. The UK is the back end of it, and then we have Iraq in the front, and Vietnamese dong in the back, and so we have this book markers, okay, of time that are there in between us. And so the UK has to be able to move forward within their plan. They have to have a consciousness and a subconsciousness ability to interact. They have to be able to trigger the connection between two energies that have never been really triggered together. Think of that. The people and the government not working together for so long. How long has that been? Since the beginning of time.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, really, when you think about it, anytime you got a king telling, everybody else that they're better, that they got to do what they say, that to me is the beginning of time.
Yeah.
So, and that's just how a lot of those countries in the UK were formed.
Yeah.
Okay. So within that energy. So now we're going to kind of break things down just into some shorter areas here in 2021. Okay. Present time. So come June, we have the old structure, okay, which is the old government, the old form of seeing things, in the aspect of having the ability to recognize what needs to be changed. But the people have to do it in a manner of not so much in a forceful manner, but within the ethical manner of how you go ahead and transition, okay? And the reason why is simply this. if the UK gets to a point of too much chaos, the UN has a better opportunity to come into the UK than they do the United States.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because we all got guns here. Okay. And when we have guns in the US, we're pretty much safe. In
Yeah.
the UK, you have that ability as well, but you don't have the kind of guns we have here in the
Right.
US.
Well,
Okay.
very few people that have guns here, right? Very,
Yeah.
very few people because
Yeah.
they're illegal.
Yeah. And so that's why I'm saying here, there's going to be this transitioning of time, but at the same time, people are going to have to pay very close attention to the government during this time, okay? Because they might try to pull some sneaky stuff. I'm just letting you know.
Okay. That's
Come August, we have a lot of judgment being put on the government and the people, not just locally within your government and the people, but also around the world. And so there might be some disclosure I'm looking at. I'm feeling some disclosure of some sort in August that might
oh, we
kind
can
of
pray.
put the spotlight on that. And from my understanding, okay, it's going to be like a revisiting of something,
All right.
and it's going to feel like there's some salt in the wound.
Oh,
So, could this happen to be with the prince?
yeah.
Could this be some disclosure? I'm just saying.
I bloody
Okay.
hope so.
I'm just saying.
I bloody hope so, because that would be such a good red pill for those people that are very royalist, because this is actually, and I'm going to be honest with you, BT, there is a lot of people here in the UK that are crazy royalists. And I know that there are in America as well, and also in Australia. It's very interesting, and Canada as well. Like, I go to these places and people are like, oh my God, have you met the Queen? And I'm like, why would I want to? But there's a lot of people like that. So I feel if some of the truth around Andrew coming out would actually really help the consciousness of dismantling their matrix, their individual matrix of how important the royal family are for the world. That would be amazing. Oh, I can pray.
So, well, we can do something's going to happen. Like I said, that's just kind of what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Uh, I also feel that in August there's going to be some major changes in the parliament.
Good.
Okay, I don't know if it's how they produce laws or how they take laws out, or who's going to be swapping in and out. I'm not sure, but there's going to be some changes. Something's going to be changed. And again, it could be something as simple as coming back out of the commercial aspect of parliament back into common law of parliament, the
Yes.
true common law.
Well,
I mean, it could be anything. Yeah. So again, just food for thought. When we come into the winter time of 2021 and through 2022, we look at again, there's going to be a lot more change in the winter time that you guys are going to be going through. I think you guys are going to probably have a very huge, either an uprising or some form of just out of the blue people come together. I mean, it's not going to be something that's going to be like super planned. It's going to be something that more just all of a sudden something triggers something and everybody just comes together. And I see that around in the winter part, uh, during the aspect of Uranus conjuncting with the Taurus sun. Okay. And so that's something there are surprise disturbances within the UK. So there could be a number of things occurring within that. It could be monetarily, it could be, uprising within the people, within cities and, the local areas as well as the big areas.
Yeah.
There's going to be something happening.
Amazing.
Now, in February of 2022,
Please give me a break. It's my birthday.
I think all of us might have a break.
Oh,
And I think we might see the possibilities of the 10 days of darkness during that time.
oh, interesting.
Okay. Just putting it out there. The reason why I say that is transitioning Saturn will be in Aquarius and it'll square Mercury. And so that's issues with communicating, restrictions in communicating, and censorship.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm just saying, February 2022 looks like that could be the day in that month. There's only 28 days, so think of that. So
Why do they have to
maybe,
pick my bloody birthday month? Like, come on. Come on, people.
and I'm going to throw this out there. If it happens, I think it'll happen on the 17th
Oh, wonderful. So
because yeah,
my birthday's the second, so I'll be 2222 that year.
see, so and think about that. If it happens on the 17th, there's 28 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you heard it
Yeah.
here first. You know, it'll be interesting. Like I said, this was a very
You know, if it
interesting.
happens on the 17th, we're all going to be like, yay, go BT. We will be loving you.
I mean, I just think that'd be a perfect date. I mean, 17 is a great number. There's
Yeah,
10 days,
of course.
17. It's a short month. I
I've
mean, if
got
you're gonna,
I've got to share something with you. I was asking for a sign from the universe on, I think it may have been Saturday, and I was like, just give me a sign, just give me a sign, you know, blah blah blah. And all of a sudden this car pulled in front of me and it had the number plate 17 UK.
there you go.
Just throwing it out there, people. There might be some truth to this.
Who knows? Who knows? The stars are very are interesting energies. They really
This,
are. You know,
this is very precise, and
yeah.
certain things are coming up when you're kind of like talking through them. I'm like, wow, I thought that this year. So the fact that it's coming next year, I'm kind of a little bit excited about it, you know.
And within these energies, okay, we have we have new leadership. Think of this, okay, because remember we talked about that
Yeah.
parliament change power and energies and stuff like that. We'll have new leadership. There'll be confusion within this change of leadership because everybody's gonna be going like, "What the hell just happened?" Okay, that ability to put the people back in control, and then having a relationship on a planetarial level.
Wow.
And when I say planetarial level, that means bringing in all energies of the cosmos to help within this UK change. Okay.
Oh, that made me feel really nice and fuzzy when you said that. That felt really nice.
Well, I think that the ascended masters and these individuals of the galaxies of time, I think they're all crucial parts of everything. I mean, Saint Germain, all of them. I mean, they're all here. Buddha. I mean, everybody's here. I mean, all these energies are here at this time.
Yeah.
That's why I know this battle is already won, and it is a pantomime. But at the same time, we have to be responsible to move the pantomime forward. We can't just sit on our ass.
Yeah, just on that, BT, I love the fact that you've brought that up. Thank you so much for saying that, because we are watching it play out, but we've got to take action. Like, we cannot just sit back on our laurels, which is what some people have been doing. And I think that's the key. Thank you. I just think that that's really amazing.
Yeah. And so now when we look at June, okay, 2022,
Yeah.
the UK will have the ability to be not only to act upon, but they will be on the right path. Okay, by this time. So whatever transfers the energy of the present to make it more of a mass of energy for the future will take place between February and June.
Oh,
Okay.
that to me, actually, I feel a bit better about it all.
And at the same time, look at the Brexit thing again. See if that can come and be done at that time frame too.
Okay.
For some reason, there's something that tells me that it can be reapproached and have it basically finished by June.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Now that
Okay.
this Brexit's been coming up a lot for me recently because I don't know what the weather's been like over in America, but here in the UK, we haven't even had spring yet. Like literally, it is so cold and it is so wet. We haven't had spring yet. And I keep like getting this download of like come winter, there's going to be a real food shortage, you know, and I feel that these conversations are going to have to be had for next year because otherwise, you know, because we've got all these limitations now because of this whatever nonsense that they've done. So it's interesting that that's come up. Really interesting.
And I think the reason why, okay, and according to what I've seen in the stars and what we discussed, the Oracle, Carla and I, and stuff like that, and just kind of bouncing things around. Think of it from this standpoint, okay? If the UK is going to be strong and it has to have its independence and sovereignty, well, the only way that it can truly be sovereign is the breakup of that whole scenario of Brexit and everything else.
Yeah.
So that every country has the opportunity to make their own choices within marketing,
Yes.
okay? Within their ability to raise funds for their countrymen, so to
Yeah.
speak. And so I think if they can get that taken care of in June, July, then why couldn't the UK at that time come in with the proper reset at that time as well?
Yes. Yes.
I'm just saying.
With the right
I'm
with the
just saying.
right plan, we could pull it forwards to that point. That's
Right,
amazing.
right. And again, if you have the countries separate that are independent, that have the ability to create not only free trade, but trade the way they see it that's best for their community and their countrymen and women, then the reset in the UK would be a better scenario than just flooding it, so to speak. Okay. So now we're going to jump ahead really far into the 24 to April of 24.
Okay.
Okay? And that is going to be where the UK comes back into one of the strongest revolutionary energies. And they're going to be expanding this energy all the way through 27. So
Wow.
from the 24 through 27 year, okay, the UK is going to be at a fundamental cross between restoring the sovereignty to the people versus the dictatorship of the global elite. Because they're going to be still trying to come after you. Just know that. Just once everything gets set, that doesn't mean they just stop and go away. Okay. It's not going to happen that way. We got to be on our toes for at least a good decade. Otherwise, this can happen again. Just know that. That's the reality. Okay.
And actually, what they've said, if you actually read some of like the books and some of the old scriptures that have been written, they've said that after 10 years of peace, all of this stuff will come back again. You know, so you're right. We cannot just sit back on our laurels at all.
No. And so that's an important part there. And so the biggest day in the stars for the UK people, when the majority will be awake, okay, March 30th of 2025. That's when all of your country, for the most part, will know the truth.
So those people that need to die will go, and then literally the rest of the population will be the what we call woke people.
Correct.
Okay. Friggin' hell, that's a
Yeah.
long way away.
Okay. So let me just kind of go over everything real roughly again. Okay. Big energy strike. The UK is big energy. It has to take more than one hit because of the history within itself. Okay.
Yeah.
It has to take those hits so it can create the change within the population of knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay. Then at the same time, it has to bring back the balancing within the karmic chart of past history. Okay. Then at the same time, it has to be able to shed its ego and be able to bridge through growth of self, the people of the UK, as well as the government, and to be able to bridge all the areas of dimensional theory, thinking, things of this nature. In other words, to truly be awakened.
Yeah.
And that's where the UK will go through this, but at the same time, there's going to be a lot of emotional energy being thrown. And so the emotional energy is where those of you who are awakened have to be able to protect yourself. Okay. These emotional energies are going to be not necessarily for your highest good when they come at you.
I feel
So
what's happening
just
at the
remember,
moment. I feel this is really what's happening at the motion at the moment. These emotional energies are literally trying to attack us via our loved ones.
yeah, yeah. And so these emotional, and again, we have to take into consideration as a suggestion the emotional energies that we are perceiving are truly emotional energies of past karmic lifetimes.
You're bang on.
Okay. And so, no matter how you react to whatever situation it isn't necessarily the reaction of this lifetime, it's the closure of all previous lifetimes.
Do you know
And that's
what?
huge.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
That's
yeah,
huge.
yeah, yeah.
Because what we're doing is we're saying, okay, we're ceasing the old ways that don't work for the highest good, and we're opening that door to walk through into the new ways that we have created within our own thoughts, within our own sovereignty, within our own love of self, and within our ability to share that love with anybody we choose to be with within that energy. Okay. And that's the important part. So that's pretty much it. I can go into a little bit more if you choose to. I mean, there's a lot more, but I think you guys get the
I think
overall.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you. I was dreading this. I was literally like, oh my God, this is just going to be so awful. Because obviously we've been blocked a couple of times. And when we were logging in, you were getting like messed around with technology. I was like, oh my God, this message is going to be awful. That's given me a lot of hope.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to give it as much hope. But also I think everybody is going to take some absolute gold from that. I really, really do. There was so much information, and I'll be honest, I don't know if it's because I'm in the UK, but I think that was my favourite one by far. I loved the American. In fact, I loved all of them, but this one, I don't know if it's because we haven't done it for a couple of weeks or whatever. But I'm like, I have a bit of peace around this. Like everything that I've been intuitively doing and I've been, and I've been putting into place, I feel is validated by everything that you've just said, which is good, first and foremost. But now it's about, real action mode. It has to be real action mode because
Yeah.
we need to take.
And
Go on.
the action mode that you're addressing is so important. And listen to me out there, people. Okay. When I first started talking about corporate governance 40 years ago, it was hard to get any action done because nobody even understood it.
Yeah.
Now there's so many people that understand what it is, that the action is actually being done now because people like Lucy and myself and Charlie and others have been out there for years researching. And what we haven't learned through our own research, we've gathered through other people's research. And it's important to understand that not everything is going to relate to you specifically because you're on your path. But if you take any bit of this, any bit of it at all, understand that the UK has to be able to move forward within the right integrity. And the only way we can do that within the UK is to have the truth be known, have the ability to recognize it, accept it, and let it go. And
Yeah.
don't have shame or guilt or any of these anxieties of the shadow energy just because what you believed is no longer true. Okay. You're not the reason behind the falsehood. Understand that. Okay.
Love that.
But you are if you continue to promote it. And I'll throw that in as well. That's the disclaimer.
Could you just repeat that again,
Okay.
because you cut off very slightly?
So the
What did you say? Reasons
when
behind?
yeah, when you change your direction, okay, and you really recognize what you have to be able to overcome to see the truth, you'll have that opportunity to move forward in a much easier stride than a negative stride. You know, getting hits and bumps and still moving forward, but still taking blows. Okay. It's not exactly how I said it earlier because again, I think that's the spirit. Sometimes spirit just
Yeah,
walks
of
through and you
course.
don't remember what you're
Of
saying.
course.
But the thing is, you know, but the thing is, it's one of those aspects that the UK can and will overcome. I know this. You're just going to have to, you know, suck it up and get the action going. I mean, no different than the people here in the United States or in these other countries that are being affected. I mean, I hear, oh yeah, you know, Trump's got this finished, and yeah, he's got a lot of things done. You know, oh, I've heard General Flynn's got this done. I'm like, yes, he has it. He's got a lot of things done, but we don't sit on our butts just because other people are doing things. We need to get out there, be active, be knowledgeable, have the resources to back up our knowledge. Okay. So if somebody says something to you, you can pull it out on your phone, you can show them, you can send them to a page where it's located. We have to be prepared, but we're not in the aspect of going out and red pilling, thumping people anymore. We
No.
don't have time for that. Okay. And if you want to, you know, think that's kind of, you know, rude, well, that's your emotion, not mine. Just so you know. Okay. I love you, but it's your emotion. All right. So and so
Brilliant.
that's the way it is. But again, the UK will move forward within this transition. You know, it's a positive thing. The hardest thing is the history. That's what you guys are going to have to deal with is the
Yeah.
truth within your history.
Yeah, and there's a lot that would just rather put their head in the sand and not deal with the fact that it's been a lie, you know. And I get it so much, like I really, really do get it, but that's not helping us. It's just not serving us.
No,
So
no. And
yeah,
and it's like here in the United States. I mean, there's so many people doing so many good things, but they don't want to address the pink hat in the room. And the pink hat in the room doesn't matter if it's in the United States, in the UK, in Russia, wherever it's at, okay, is when corporate governments, in other words, the corporation of government, starts making rules, mandates, and policies that affect your sovereignty. And that's been going on here in the United States since 1871 and in every county, city, and town since 1967.
yeah,
So the people of today have no knowledge of what it was like to be free.
yeah. And
Us
and
old
what's
timers know.
yeah, I love the fact that you've mentioned that, because what's so interesting is I'm looking for that person in the UK, that person that knows the law has been manipulated, so that we can actually start looking at how we can raise the consciousness on that. And then I like to call it breaking the system, but you know what I mean, revamping, reevaluating, changing the system back for the people. That's what I truly believe I'm here for. It's about dismantling the old, the systems of education, medical, you know, law, government, legal, you name it, all of them, and then replacing them with something which is for the people. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. And that's well beautifully said too, because think of it from this standpoint, okay? Like behind me are all these old books. Okay.
I love it.
Okay. And all these old books are law books. Okay. All of them. I mean, there's a few fun books in there too that friends have given, but they all deal with law, just so you know. Okay. But when I do research to find a book here in the United States, it's hard for me to find books pre 1871. Okay. And the reason why is because that's all common law stuff. And so most of the common law stuff that every country should be, utilizing has all been destroyed. Think of that. And so when I find it on like eBay or something of this nature, or somebody has it and they're like, hey, I got this old book. Would you be interested? Those are the things that are really important, because for you to restore the balance back to where the people were in control, it's in your history books. It's just finding the right history book. And all these books behind me, that's what they are. They're history books of law. So that way, when we get ready to turn this switch back over to the common law courts, I have everything here that is utilized. And so that's the important part. And so like over there, if you guys find your bar books, like the bar and relationship books, that when the bar first was created in England, and we're talking like 1700s, 1600s, that type of books, and you start finding those type of books, I'll guarantee you the history of how to convert your country back to common law is right there.
Right.
Guaranteed.
Okay.
It's just finding them.
It's really interesting. As you've been talking, there's a lady that's been in my vision for the last about 12 months. And I'm like, I need to speak to her. Like all of a sudden she's just popped up. I'm like, okay, cool. I need to speak with her. Just as you were talking then. It's so useful. This is so useful. It's amazing. You guys have done such a good job. Thank the Oracle from us. Also your gorgeous partner, Carla. It's just amazing what you guys have done and what you've been able to produce. And I just feel extremely privileged that this information has come through, and that you're sharing it with us, because this is the kind of information that people will need to get some hope. It will also be the message of kicking people up the backside, because there are a lot of people out there that are just trusting the plan. It's all going to happen. The light has won. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that we haven't, like, we're in a war. We've got to fight.
If you get a chance, and I don't know if they still have it on YouTube or not, but years ago, this guy sent me this video on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah.
And I forget the name of the title, but I'll give you the synopsis and maybe you can type it in and it'll come up. I don't know. But the basic synopsis was this: people who were at the victory finish, who turned back to look at something and they lost the race.
Oh, wow.
Okay. In other words, you can't raise your hands until you cross the finish line, people. Okay.
Yeah.
Once you cross the finish line, you can raise your hands, you can jump, you can roll over, you can fall asleep, you can do whatever you choose to do. But until you cross that finish line does not mean you sit on your butt. Does not mean that you trust the plan completely. Okay. It does not mean, it does not mean that you just say, okay, I'm going to let somebody else be responsible for me.
Yeah, and you look at athletes, right? So look at somebody like Usain Bolt, who runs the 100 meters, or he did run the 100 meters in like boom, like that. Do you think he literally just trained for the week before or the month before? No, he was training year in, year out for that, however many seconds it took him to run.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a perfect example of what we're doing right now. We need to be warriors together, shoulder to shoulder, coming together, pulling this plan together, actually taking action on this plan, so that we can raise our hand in victory when we get there. And all of us will know that we have contributed. Not one person is bigger and better than another. Who freaking cares if somebody's leading this plan? There's still going to be a lot of warriors that are going to be there, that are doing the do. It's not about, like you beautifully said earlier, it's not about the ego. It's about us coming together right now and creating these communities and moving forwards as a community. Oh,
Yeah.
I feel
And
very passionate.
and it's huge because again, when you do good for you and others,
Yeah,
you feel good for you and others.
yeah,
You feel love for yourself and others. You know, it's when you're hiding behind the scenes and you're not really playing the real role that you're supposed to be playing is when you're failing others,
yeah.
failing yourself, first of all. Because again, you have a part in this, you know, and that's the important aspect. We all have a part. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if we took the,
Yeah.
you know, that's
Still
still a
apart.
part.
Still
It's a
apart, yeah,
part.
exactly. And I get a lot of people, you probably get the same in your world, but I get a lot of people saying, but Lucy, I just want to know my purpose. Hello, welcome to your purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, if you're asking what your purpose is, I mean, you really don't know yourself. I mean, I'm saying it, with love and respect and kindness to those people who might just think, damn, but think of that, your purpose. First of all, your purpose is to love yourself so you can love somebody else. I mean, if you can never love yourself, you're never going to love anybody else, period. And if you don't love yourself and you're putting a facade that you love yourself, then that facade is going to be mirrored on the other individual, and they might be with you, but they're not going to feel your true love. Okay, because it's fake, and you don't want to be a faker. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, get a little hard there, but that's just the reality.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We need to be stern in these times. Like
yeah.
I've been really, really sweet and kind this morning, BT. I'll send you my link to my Instagram live that I did this morning. I was effing and jeffing because I was like, come on, people,
Right.
because I've got to this point where I just know things are slipping away unless we step up our game, you
And
know.
they are. I
Yeah,
mean, it's hard because for me to do what I do, especially dealing with the law issues and things like this, I love everybody out there and I'll spend as much time as I can. But if you don't know the three basic areas of how laws are created in the United States and the verbiage they use, I'm not going to reteach you that, because if you can't start on a simple aspect of how the laws are created, then you'll never understand the law. And I can teach you 1,000 hours worth of law and you'll never learn it.
yeah, of course.
That's the reality of it, because you've gone so far down the rabbit hole in a wrong direction that any new direction still points you down the rabbit hole in the wrong direction.
Exactly. Oh,
Mhm.
it's amazing. I love our chats. I really love our chats. And I know that my followers love our chats. Honestly, they're like, where's BT? I'm like, guys, he's got an appointment. Give him a break. Literally, it's
It,
funny because two
it,
two
it,
videos got cancelled last week.
yeah.
And people were like, well, what's going on with you? Keeping you all on your toes.
Hey, it's the same here. I mean, our Zoom calls have been really weird lately. I don't know, I'm just saying out there, people, Zoom is kind of being, I think, infiltrated or something. I don't
I
know.
feel, I feel
But
exactly the same. I feel they're listening.
yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
So anyhow, well, you guys out there know that you guys got a lot of work to do. We love you. You're in our prayers. Thank you for the stones, for the outreach out there, all the people.
Amazing. So guys, please do comment below. Send your love to BT as always. BT, thank you, my friend. It's so good to be back with you. And yeah, no doubt we will do something very, very soon. Right, guys, I will see you in the next video. Lots of love. Thanks for listening, guys. Take care.